Scott here, and I'm here with Omar from Cardinal Press in Newmarket on Main Street, and we're here to talk to them more about what they're doing here in Newmarket. It's a little shaky.
On the table.
A little bit shaky on the table. But I just wanted to jump right into your drinks, Omar, and talk to you especially about two of your signature drinks that you've come up with that are special to Cardinal Press, the Newmarket Fog and the Peanut Butter Mocha. So what goes into them and what was sort of the inspiration behind them?
Creativity kind of is what drives us in a lot of ways. We want to always have fun with what we're doing and be creating things. So whenever I create new menu items, I'm always thinking about what I don't see in places. So that really motivates me to find new drinks. In terms of the Peanut Butter Mocha, when we were revising our menu and getting our new menus printed up, I wanted something on the menu that nobody had really, at least I hadn't seen on a menu previously. Sure. It's such a simple concept. I love peanut butter.
Same.
That's one thing.
Same, yeah.
And I'm still trying to crack the code for like a peanut butter muffin that's not dry.
Okay.
But yeah, I love peanut butter and I like chocolate, so we make awesome mochas, so it was a no-brainer to kind of throw it all together and see what we could do with that.
Okay.
But yeah, we found everything goes through a rigorous trial and error process here.
Cool.
So we'll sample stuff out, we'll test it at different sizes, we'll give it to customers, get some honest feedback from them. We like honest feedback and like harsh critique. We both my wife and myself, we come from a film background and we're used to just be tearing you to shreds.
It's true,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's a good thing. I think being able to take feedback is very important. And when you're creating a drink, it's one of those things you're not going to appeal to everybody. Everybody has different tastes, so you have to accept that. But you can get a median and a margin, and you find the right proportions, and you just sort of work with it. The peanut butter mocha was a great concept that came to a good execution. The first couple ones that we made were a little too much on the lumpy side, you could say.
Yeah, I guess that's
when we were trying to find the proportions, just to see, because it's like with any powder-based beverage as well, like everything settles.
Yeah.
So it's finding the right amount so it doesn't settle or it doesn't all just float to the bottom and it just becomes lumps. So that's sort of the challenge with that one. But it's a great drink. It sells really well for us.
Yeah.
And the Newmarket Fog, I love getting creative with teas. Tea lattes, and the London Fog in particular, is one of our probably best sellers here.
Really?
We sell a lot of London Fogs, and we've had a lot of compliments on the way we do our London Fogs from people from all countries who come here. Like I get a lot of baristas from like LA will come here to visit family, and they'll be like, I only come to you guys for London Fogs. You guys make a good London Fog.
Okay.
So we're very adamant about that. So
Gotcha.
we like our tea lattes, and just through talking with people, we always joked about like I like bad puns, and that's how sort of actually what propels probably 90% of what's on the menu is like a bad pun that turns into a drink.
Nice.
And then we started coming up with a bunch of new fog drinks. The Halifax Fog we got from one of our customers is something that they had somewhere, and we decided to put that on the menu because she left the country, and that's kind of an honor to her.
Yeah.
She was one of our big London Fog drinkers.
Interesting.
But with the Meeting House Fog stemmed from that Peggy's Fog conversation. That's a charity drink that we do. A dollar of everyone sold goes to charity. So like they give me parameters and I make a drink, and then when I always thought like, why let's give Newmarket a drink.
Yeah,
like
that makes
Newmarket
sense.
doesn't
You're
have
here.
a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're in Newmarket. Let's give the town a drink. So for the Newmarket Fog, I looked at the history of Newmarket. Again, I like working with some sort of parameters to go for. It lets me think outside the box a little bit. So I thought, what is Newmarket? So I looked into the history of Newmarket a bit, and every aspect of the Newmarket Fog actually has something to do with Newmarket's history.
Okay.
So that was kind of what drove the ingredient list. So it's a honey-infused chamomile tea with English toffee, steamed milk, and a little bit of nutmeg. So
That sounds good.
it's a very nice drink. It's also a drink that it's decaffeinated, so you can have it at any time of day. Adults, kids, it doesn't matter. It's a very nice drink. The very interesting thing about the Newmarket Fog is that everybody tastes something different.
Oh, interesting.
It's got a very unique flavor profile, so everyone experiences it a little bit differently. Some people tell me it tastes like spiced apple. Some people tell me it tastes like pineapple, coconut, strawberries, like all kinds of things that are not in there.
Yeah.
But it's just the way everything goes. But yeah, like the honey is very much part of the town. Newmarket started as a colony of like bee farmers, and that's why in the old Newmarket flag there is a beehive.
Okay.
You have that. Chamomile flowers were something that was traded with the natives around here at the time, and so were spices were very much traded in the area for the market aspect. So we finished with a little bit of nutmeg, and then the English toffee represents all the Scottish and British and that whole side of
A lot
things
of
that
it,
came to Newmarket. So
Yeah.
like I said, every part of it was kind of chosen to signify some aspect of the town.
Pretty interesting.
And it's more minute ways, but my dream is that one day I'll like be on the other side of the country and someone will be like, "We get Newmarket fog," and then I'll know I won.
There you go.
That's my yeah.
Got to get it trending that way.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I always tell people if you like the Newmarket fog, tell someone about
Yeah.
it. Yeah. But it sells really well for us. It's something people like to try, and like I said, because it's decaf,
Yeah,
you
that
don't
makes
have
it
to
easier.
worry about caffeine any time of the day.
That's true.
Some people just hate chamomile though, but that I get.
Yeah. So then, moving from that to, I know you told me that you're passionate about espresso,
Yes.
your espresso drink. So, why don't you tell me about your espresso? And I know you named your Americano Plain Jane Americano. So tell me a little more about that as well.
Okay, so when Cardinal Press, we took over from the previous ownership of this location, which was also a cafe. It used to be called Cover Notes Tea and Coffee House. And when we took over, we knew that we were going to change the name, and we knew like the owners who retired knew we were going to change the name as well, and we just hadn't settled on something. And one of the big draws for myself when I started doing this, and for most people who come through here, is the espresso. The espresso that we serve is very unique. It releases a lot of crema. It's a very full-bodied espresso. And like I said, one of the biggest compliments I can get here is when like some old Italian guy or some old Portuguese man comes in and just like kind of angry in the face and he just wants to like have an espresso, and then he like comes up to me and he's like, "That was an espresso."
They know.
They know.
They know. Yeah.
Like those are the people I'm like, "Oh my god, thank you."
Yeah.
They remind me of my dad. Like my dad was that kind of guy.
Okay.
Like he grew up drinking espresso. For me, I hated coffee growing up. I really didn't like it. It's something you have to learn to appreciate.
For sure, you do.
And again, there's a really big difference between bad coffee and really good coffee.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially with espresso, it's really easy to get someone to give you an espresso that tastes super acidic.
Yeah.
It's very bitter.
Yeah.
It's not very pleasant. But if you have a good espresso, it's lovely. Like our espresso has a lot of mocha and caramel undertones
nice.
to it.
Okay.
The crema hits you just right.
Yeah.
Again, knowing like history of like your drinks is also kind of important. And getting educated. Espresso is not a drink you want sitting around for too long.
Sure.
You want to enjoy it pretty quickly. You don't want it to settle too much. As soon as the crema dissipates, you end up with a little bit more of that bitter acidity.
Okay.
So again, every coffee is a little bit different. But espresso is lovely. So when we changed the name, we wanted to showcase that. So our Cardinal Press Espresso Bar.
Okay.
So we really put that in the name, and we wanted to showcase it. And the Americano, my Plain Jane Americanos, just my regular old Americanos, which I am currently drinking, are what fuel me, and it's our best-selling drink in general. Coffee does really well for us, but we sell more Americanos than we sell coffee.
Okay.
And that's a testament to our roaster, our espresso, and the way we do espresso. But
Let's switch from coffee to something I know that's also very important to you is a community. So you guys are really involved in the community of different events or just connecting with different businesses. Why is community important to you, and being involved in the community important to you?
community is a big part of what we do. Even before we started this, when we moved to Newmarket, for me personally, I never really lived anywhere for a long period of time.
Okay.
The first permanent thing in my life was my tattoo.
Okay.
And even that, these days is somewhat permanent.
Yeah.
Not even.
That's true.
You can replace
You can
that.
get it removed if you want to, yeah.
But no, that was the thing. I've never put down grassroots. I never lived in a house more than 2 years when I was growing up. I lived in a lot of different places, and you always hear these people who have like friends that they grew up with and all that.
Yeah.
So I never really had a chance to be a part of a community. My wife was more residential around here, but when we were looking for a place to live, my wife's family lived up here a little bit, so we decided to come up to Newmarket. And when we took over here, we just been taken in by the main street on which we're located, and it's been really lovely. Like all the store owners and just the people in the area really embraced us, and it was really important to make sure that they knew that we weren't here to hurt the place. We were here to enhance and make just like grow. Like this had been bones, and we wanted to build on that foundation. So, and it was really lovely, and you hear stories. I mean, another part of our job is just the social aspect of it, and talking to people and seeing what's happening, and just the amount of people that meet each other here is amazing, and the caliber of people. If you actually have a conversation, and this is in most places, but like a coffee shop is a very special sort of place of congregation, where people from all walks of life come in, and everyone needs coffee for different things. But like you start to talk to your people, and suddenly you have like national award National Geographic award-winning photographers.
Yeah.
You have like the creator of Kobo.
Okay.
You have entrepreneurs, artists, musicians,
Yeah.
like YouTubers. Like you have every.
Such an eclectic group.
Yeah, you
right?
have such an eclectic
Yeah.
group, and they're all very unique. And it's really interesting when you introduce someone to somebody else, and suddenly they start the conversation. There's a friendship that gets struck out.
It's pretty awesome to see that little magic that happens. And
yeah, this spot has always been very, even before us, and like what's come into this particular location for like 1 year.
Yeah.
People have always gathered in this area, so there's a lot of good energy here, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have an awesome set of regulars, and they are very open to letting people in. Like we had one of our regulars who ended up working for us for a time.
Yeah.
He was here from South Africa, day 2. Like he knew nobody in Canada.
Oh wow.
And yeah, they embraced it, like just brought him right in, and he kind of never left.
That's awesome.
And I think that this is the first time I haven't seen him in like 2 weeks.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, he has a job. He has a job at a school a little bit further north,
Okay.
but yeah, it's crazy. And it's really lovely to see that. And again, we have a lovely creative community out here, and it's coming from a creative background, having a place to congregate and a place to meet like-minded people always felt very difficult, but felt very important. So
sure.
being able to provide that for people
That's important.
is something that I really love. And again, whether it's through a conversation about coffee, which is what we're trying to do with like everything we're doing with coffee, but just talking to people. It's important. Like I'm horrible with names, but it's really important for me to get to know what everybody's drink is. So like I may not know your name, but I can almost guarantee that by the second time you come here, I will recognize your drink order if you buy
That's
the same thing
interesting.
twice.
Okay, cool.
That is my gift,
Yeah.
but that is something that's important. I mean,
That's a good
it's also-
superpower, then.
It is, I
It's
guess.
helpful anyways.
It's a useless superpower.
It's helpful in this situation,
Yeah.
but
Why can't I see through walls?
yeah.
But when people walk in and like they know that I recognize their drink and I know what they're ordering, like it makes you feel at home.
Yeah, it makes
and
a big
big
difference.
part of community is feeling home somewhere.
For sure. And then going into your actual coffee program, I know you mentioned to me that you're starting to source more from different regions and that sort of thing. So what sort of drove you to that, and what regions are you sort of looking? Do you have in house now?
Yeah. So one thing we are going to be starting to do is we have been building a relationship to start carrying more coffee from other parts of the world. We already do carry a couple of coffees that you can't really get anywhere else in Canada. For example, James Coffee out of San Diego. You can't. We're the only retailer in all of Canada that sources it.
Yeah.
It does really well for us. It's a great bean out of San Diego. We do them. We work with Reunion Island. We always want to have a couple of different beans. Like our beans are lovely. Our beans are Newmarket, and we serve Newmarket coffee.
Okay.
But it's a big world out there.
That's
you know,
true.
and everyone always talks about what's out there. Or they don't know, and so our job is in this espresso bar is to educate people.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that are just used to Tim Hortons or McDonald's,
That's
and they've
true.
never had a good cup of coffee. And it's more they've never had a good cup of coffee. And there's a lot of debate about this. It's like some people just don't want people to stop saying light, medium, and dark for coffee.
Sure.
They just want to ask you like, what do you like? Because
Yeah.
like if you're a tea drinker and you hate coffee, it's because you've probably never been matched with a coffee that suits your palate, which probably
makes
means you
sense.
want something more floral, more cherry like in there, which is going to be something more similar. So something like a Burundi coffee would probably be more suited towards you.
Yeah.
And if you've never had a Burundi, then like you probably never enjoyed a cup of coffee.
That's true.
Most people can be converted. It's just like it's a matter of finding whatever suits them.
Yeah.
But that was one of the drives. It's a big world out there, and I'm always interested to see what other people are doing.
Sure.
There's so much more out there, and that's what we want to educate. And we want to give that to York Region. Is a place where you can find coffee that you may have never heard of. If you're interested in coffee, this is a place where you can get accessories, you can get new coffees, you can try something from Vancouver, Alberta, New Zealand, and see what's going on over there.
So with
That's
this,
sort of
all these different coffees coming in, are you serving them at the bar? Do you have them for bag purchase, or is it sort of a mix right now? Or what do you have planned coming up?
So we do most of it. Anything we get from out of country, the different coffees we do, we normally will bring a couple of bags in to be able to, so people can try them.
Okay.
So we do all that usually via Chemex. We will be doing it via Espresso as well.
Okay.
As soon as we get these other roasters all set up, just because it gives people another option, not giving people the option. The Chemex is a lovely system, and we invest in it because it gives delicious coffee. But again, one thing people don't talk about excuse me, is that every coffee, when it's being tested by its roaster, it gets made a certain way, whether it's via Aerial V60 system, via Chemex,
Sure, the different
via
ways.
espresso. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like some people will get a coffee and be like, this isn't good.
Yeah.
So again, our job is to test it out many different ways and see what the best way to consume that coffee is,
sure.
and put it on the menu the right way.
Yeah, so what you're saying is there's a ton that goes into it,
Yeah.
and if people don't know exactly what they need to do or want to do, or they don't want to think about it as much, then they can come here. You guys, at the very least, give them a good cup of coffee, and if you have any questions, they can ask you about things.
Yeah, I mean, we're always happy to, like, yeah, exactly. So they can come here, they can have a cup of coffee. We're always happy to answer questions. We are very open to starting that conversation, and even with like the accessories, is the reason why we carry what we carry. It's everything we have in store we test out before we bring it in, which I think is also very important. If I don't know how to use it, I can't sell it to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's or I shouldn't. You know,
in theory, yes, that's also true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to like Lowe's or something and you go and like, you ask someone a question, like, I don't know, let's find Jim. He's probably on break. He knows everything.
Jim knows everything.
Yeah. I want everyone here to be Jim.
Yeah. Sure.
Jim is important.
That's very important. And then wrapping up, is there anything we should keep in look out for going through the summer? Any new drinks? Any events going on this summer that keep an eye out?
Oh man. Well, there's always stuff going on Main Street. We are going to be doing a little bit more. We're looking into starting open mics and stuff like that again.
Okay.
We did them for a while, but for some reason, the weather gods were never in our favor. Whenever we chose to do them, it was the worst weather possible of that month. Whether it was like freezing rain or some sort of horrible storm. And I keep hitting this table. I apologize.
No worries.
But yeah, we want to get back into that and get back into a little bit more of
That'd be fun.
the creative stuff. We already do like open mics for different, for like the writers community of York region. And again, we like to work with writers, musicians, artists, photographers, filmmakers. We're always open to like loaning our space out to people like that.
Yeah.
Just start a conversation. Like I'm always happy for people to shoot like photography in here. Just ask.
Yeah.
Just ask.
That would help.
It's always good.
Make sure you ask.
Yeah. Make sure you ask. I'll always say yes as long as you ask.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, we're doing that. I have this talk coming up in September at the Newmarket Public Library about coffee.
Great.
So we're going to be talking exactly kind of what we've gone into here about like regions and coffee and tasting and seeing what the differences are between the coffees that you can drink, different ways of brewing coffee, and like tasting coffee over time as well. Some coffee needs to settle. Some coffee actually you buy it in a bag and it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
Pardon my language.
It's okay.
But it'll taste pretty bad. But if you like let it, it's like wine. You have to sometimes like give it a week, and then it's like at its prime.
It's better. Yeah.
So it's that kind of information that we're going to be getting at. A little bit more about the history of coffee, because coffee's actually been a big part of human history in a lot of ways. Like you read about it it's in the Bible.
Yeah.
Like,
There you go.
it's in the Bible. It's like in a lot of African mythology.
Yeah.
And just everywhere. Like you're always hearing about something that sounds like coffee in folklore and all over the
that's
country.
true.
So it's really interesting to me.
So I assume you'll be posting on your Instagram when that's coming up. When it's
Yeah, no, we
final
always,
schedule,
anything we do with in the shop, whether it's a food pop-up, which we're doing, that's something that we're actually going to be doing a lot more this summer, is
Oh, yeah?
pop-ups.
Oh, cool.
So we like working with good people, and we have a lot of, like I said, really good customers here, and very interesting people that do lots of different businesses and stuff like that. So we're going to be working with them. A lot of people do things with food or with health and nutrition or photography. So we're going to be doing lots of little workshops. We're going to be doing some meet and greets.
Nice.
We're going to be just opening it up. Like one thing we have planned that we want to do is for all of our female entrepreneurs. We have a ton of like young female entrepreneurs that have a lot of amazing ideas. So what we want to do is kind of like almost like a job fair where they can all set up and let people come in and again meet themselves, because you never know. Like you meet someone who has an idea that can help you do whatever you're doing.
True.
Right?
You never know.
They don't know each other maybe, but also let people know what they're doing, because it's really fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Just
You
that
sit
little
down
bit
and
of
talk to these
exposure
people,
could help them. You never know who they're going to
and we have the
run
space
into.
to do that. It doesn't hurt us to do something like that. So it's and it's fun.
Okay, cool.
It's
And
fun.
tell the people what your Instagram handle is, so they can.
We are Cardinal.Press on Instagram.
Cool.
And Cardinal Press Espresso Bar on Facebook.
Awesome. So you guys can check them out there, looking for events that are coming up, seeing what they're doing, and all that sort of good stuff. And so it's been really great having you, Omar. I appreciate you coming and sitting down with us. And so if you're in Newmarket, make it sure you pass by Cardinal Press Espresso Bar. It's on Main Street. It's not hard to find. Google it. It's really easy to find. Trust me.